Hello, this video is to give you a brief overview of the first project you'll be working on for English 120. This first project is going to be a review, which you'll really be looking at the top 3, a specific type of review. So let's dig into this a little bit more. So first off, make sure that not only do you watch this video, but also actually read through the review instructions on Learn, because that document has a lot more of the details about this assignment. But a brief overview of the assignment logistics includes a 1250 to 1500 word count. The assignment needs to be multimodal, and in this case, that's going to be text plus at least one additional mode. The other additional mode being whatever you choose that's appropriate. You do need to incorporate both personal experience and at least one other source that is appropriately cited. We'll talk a little bit more about what that means. The assignment overall is 10% of your course grade. Now, what you're actually doing for the assignment is reviewing products, places, or services that are used for the same purpose. And as a conclusion, you're going to be choosing the top 3. So whatever your general topic is, it needs to connect to your professional field. That might be a medical field, that might be education, that might be business. Think about what your major is and then think about what the professional field surrounding that is. Now, if you're still undeclared, that's totally fine, but think about where you might want to go with your profession, what you're interested in. If you're not at that point of deciding yet, choose something that is already an interest or already a career or a job that you're involved in. Similarly, connected to that, you're going to be writing for a specific audience. So you're going to need to choose a very specific group of people to write to. So let's talk about what you're going to do when you actually choose a topic. The first thing is to think about the products, the services, and the places that are important to people that are in your professional field. After that, you're going to narrow it down and choose one type of product, service, or place, and then do some research to determine what the top 3 are. Remember that you do have to use personal experience, so you need to be able to access these things, whether it's going there, using the service, or having used it in the past. Same thing with the products. In general, you should be able to fit your topic and your audience into the following template. The top 3 whatever for whomever. Some examples. Top 3 coffee shops in Albuquerque for writers. Coffee shops in Albuquerque is my place in this case, and writers are my specific audience. You could also do the top 3 hammers for construction workers. Hammer is the type of product, and construction worker is the specific audience. The top 3 mailing services for small business owners. The top 3 mailing services are the services I'm looking at. Small business owners are the audience. Now, keep in mind that you want to choose a concrete subject, coffee shops, hammers, mailing services, rather than a method or an activity, because those are going to be too hard to find objective evidence to really evaluate. The multimodality aspect of this assignment. I know you've already looked at multimodality at the beginning of the course, but just as a refresher, one of the modes for this assignment has to be text, but you are also free to choose any of the other modes as that second mode. So you might incorporate with your text images, you might incorporate video, audio, music, sound effects, animation. This is certainly not an exhaustive list, but think about what other mode you can incorporate with your text to really benefit the quality of the review and improve it. Don't just use multimodality to fulfill the assignment. Think about how you can actually use multimodality to make your review stronger. Similarly, connected to the multimodality, think about what medium you're interested in using. So do you want to create your review as a blog, as a website, as a brochure, a magazine article? Think about what that medium, that conduit for how you are presenting this is going to work, because depending on what your medium is, that might determine what kind of modes you use. For example, if you create a printed magazine article, you can't really use audio or music because you can't print sound. you'd need to use some kind of a visual. If you're doing a website, you could use things like video or audio or just images. So think about the medium that you're interested in using as well as that second or more modes. Just a quick note here. If you want to create a video of yourself presenting the review as your multimodality aspect, that is completely fine. The text aspect can just be an accompanying script of exactly what you say. That is going to be the written component. It will need to be polished, edited, just like any other written text would be. And of course, it must meet the word count requirement. But that is okay if that's something you're interested in doing. So, what are you going to do when you actually evaluate the product, service, or places? You're going to use common expectations. These are going to allow you to fairly evaluate the 3 products, services, and places. The Writing Today chapter will talk more about common expectations, and we'll also do some activities later on to get you familiar with coming up with common expectations and thinking about which ones to focus on for your review. It's completely fine if a product, service, or place is really strong on some of those common expectations, but weak on others. Just be honest and be fair in your evaluation and make sure that you are supporting your claims with evidence, whether those are examples, personal experience, the things that other people have said. Make sure that that evidence is used to really support your argument. Also, think about how you want to organize your review. How do you want to put all of these pieces together so that it's really clear to your reader and easy for them to navigate? Okay, something everyone's always interested in. My review of your review, in other words, your grade. So there are 6 different areas I'm going to be looking at specifically. Your choice of criteria, common expectations, I'll use those 2 terms interchangeably. So your choice and use of those, the organization of your review, have you met all of the assignment logistics, the evidence that you use to support your argument and evaluation of the products, how well you write this to be specific to your audience, and how well you make this piece multimodal. Not only is it multimodal, but how well are you actually incorporating both, or if you're using more than 2 modes, to really be effective and connect to each other. Now, there is a rubric up on Learn. It has a lot more details about how I'm going to be grading your piece. I recommend that you go and look at that as well. Some other resources for you, Writing Today, Chapter 7, which you should be reading anyways because it's assigned. That is all about reviews, so definitely use that as a resource. There's several different sample multimodal reviews in the gallery of samples that's on Learn. And of course, if you have questions, post them in the Writer's Lounge. Ask me questions, use me as a resource to help you figure out whatever answers you need. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you produce for your reviews. If you do have questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer those, happy to help give you guidance, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what you create.